Swansea away, Derby away, within 4 days. Who decided this schedule? Welcome back to We're the Superhoops Talk with myself, Luke, and today we have got Michael. So, mate, a mixed week, but let's start with the positive. A good result against Swansea.
Yeah, I mean, we went into the game as favourites, I think, having to bounce back after our loss against Millwall, and we did just that. We were the better side. Swansea had a chance last minute to equalise, which they should have scored, in fairness. But we take that. We take the 3 points away, especially at a side that we struggled against last season. So we've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I definitely. I think it's always a hard place to go. It's quite travel, especially from the London area. So it's a good win, and it sort of kept the momentum going, didn't it? I think it was nice to see Burrell get on the score sheet again.
Yeah, definitely. I think he needs to start in week out now, Burrell. I think he's our most important forward. I think not only his pace, but his positioning as well. He gets in the right spaces. He knows where the goal is. And Kone perhaps needs a bit of a rest. He's not been on his A game the last few weeks. And I think Burrell should be our main guy going forward. But obviously we all know what Kone can bring when it is his day. So
yeah, it's hard. We're gonna get into the schedule of the Championship later in the show, but you need rotation, don't you? So yeah, Kono might need just a little time. One game, coming off the bench, something like that. That kind of gives his legs a bit of a rest. He's obviously used to quite hectic EFL schedule coming up the pyramid, but yeah, you need rotation within the squad. And that brings us to the Derby game. Not a great performance at all, Michael. It was a little bit of chalk and cheese. It's compared to the Swansea game. No real chances.
yeah, for a season that we finished 7-1, I think that was our worst performance of the season. In terms of going forward, we offered absolutely nothing. Derby played us off the pitch, and I don't understand why they haven't been dominating teams the last few weeks. If they played like that every week, they'd be well in the mix. But we looked uninspiring. I feel like we maybe got complacent after the Swansea game. Maybe there were tired legs. But yeah, going forward, I think we had one shot, which is strange for this QPR team, who are so good going forward. And yeah, Derby deserved winners. I think they hit the post 3 times as well. So
yeah,
we should have lost by more.
Fair play to Derby, but like you said, I agree with your point. It's very unlike QPR this season, especially obviously since the 7-1 loss. The forward play has been brilliant, and that's kind of been the big talking point with amongst the not just QPR fans but fans in general. The attacking play from QPR has been phenomenal, and I think I mean you're allowed a couple of games without stuff like that happening. I guess it's just again it's making sure that it doesn't keep going, and that's the key in the Championship, isn't it? It's consistency. You can, if you play games so quickly and so regularly, you can win 3 games really quickly, but you can also lose 3 games really quickly. And consistency is quite key in the Championship, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think that is something that over the years we have lacked. And then just when we thought, okay, we're figuring things out, we play like we did on Saturday, but I think now at least we've got a week's rest. A tough game against Ipswich on Saturday. The manager can decide who he thinks is fit. We've got an available attack. All of our attacking options are coming back. So yeah, it bodes well for the fixture against Ipswich. And knowing us, it will be a game where we score a few and we turn it around. But if we play against Derby again, we have no hope.
That's what you need to see, don't you? You need to see a response when you do lose a game, when you haven't really played very well. It's all about the next game, isn't it? And it's about about bouncing back, and that's again the difficulty of the Championship, where you play so many games. It is quite relentless, but you do always have the next game to prove the last game was just a fluke. Talking about the schedule, Swansea away and Derby away within the same week. It's not only tough for the players, that's tough for the fan base as well, isn't it, Michael?
Yeah, it's something that we know what we're getting ourselves into with the Championship. But to go all the way to Swansea on a Wednesday night and then having to make the way up to Derby on a Saturday is it's just why our fans we deserve so much credit. I think we always bring a good following, and the players, I feel like they would have been knackered, obviously, against Derby, and I think that is why ultimately that we lost the game. But yeah, it's the nature of the Championship.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my points. Actually, do you think that did show in the Derby game, the travelling, the relentless two away days within 4 days? Like, why wasn't the game played on the Tuesday night? If you got 2 away games in the fixture, it didn't make sense to me. But yeah, do you think that was an issue? The bit of legginess, bit of fatigue.
Yeah, I think so, and I think maybe a bit of complacency as well. I think maybe we went into the game thinking that we should be beating these, and then Derby, they've got some good players. They've got obviously Carlton Morris, who's doing well at Luton, Brereton Diaz, who used to be like a bright prospect when he was at Blackburn, and yeah, they've got an experienced EFL side, and I think we thought we'd go into the game and dominate, and it just didn't go to the game plan that we set out to do, and we got punished for it. So
Yeah, definitely. But are you happy with 3 points from the 2 games? It's not too bad, is it?
yeah, I'm happy we got a win in there, just because we needed to, just for the sake of not falling into that trap of going into a bad run of games again. But yeah, we need to get a point at least against Ipswich.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough game. We'll talk about that now. Would you expect from Ipswich? Would you expect from the game in general? You looking to try and sort of go on the front foot and take the game to Ipswich?
Yeah, I think we need to. I think we need to set off on the front foot. We need to not be shy to take a pop at goal. Those are the best games that we've had this season, when we've had Vale cutting in off the right, taking a pop at goal. Burrell, Kone, we'd have a fit chair back by then as well, playing balls through the channel. And yeah, it should be an exciting game going forward. My only worry is our defence. I think Steve Cook, he does worry me a bit against Ipswich's attack, and Nardi as well. I think maybe he wasn't at fault for the goal against Derby, and he made some good saves that game as well. But he shouldn't be our number one. But we just don't have any options at the minute. So my defence worries me a bit. But going forward, I think we'll definitely get a goal against Ipswich. So.
Yeah, what do you think is going to be the way to attack Ipswich? I mean, they've struggled with counter-attacking play against them this season. So do you think using the pace of Burrell, using the pace of your forward line, that's going to be the real key to getting something from the game?
Yeah, definitely, and I think being direct as well. We need to just take pops at goal, and not making the extra pass when you don't need to make it. I think we need to just be cutthroat in our attack, and yeah, pace will punish Ipswich. Like with Burrell, with Smith, if he was to play as well, we would be a bit of a force. But the question's got to be asked whether Kone starts or whether Frey gets a start, or whether it's Chair in behind and then Burrell up top. So it'll be interesting what side Julian goes for against Ipswich.
Yeah, especially with the week rest, like you mentioned. What's your predictions then, mate? What are you going to go with?
I'm going to go for 2-1. I think we'll turn it around again. Yeah, just got to back them.
Yeah, definitely. There's no reason why not to. Right now, we are obviously coming up to a spooky night in Halloween, so I think it's a time to talk about some horror shows, some horror games that you can remember from the past. I mean, there's obviously been a bit of a horror game this season against Coventry, but it could be any game. What's a horror game in your memory?
I think obviously recency bias would be the Coventry result. It's a day to forget. But then obviously, when we lost 7-1 against West Brom as well a few years ago, that was a horror game. Over the last few years, there's so many that we can choose from as well. I think we've had games where we've offered nothing, and we've had games where, yeah, I think I have to go for the 7-1 loss against Coventry. As just a recency bias thing. So
yeah, I think
that was a horror show.
Yeah, that was a scary game for everyone, every QPR fan, I think. What about is another question for you on the Halloween theme. You are dressing up as a QPR player for Halloween. who is your scariest player
right now?
Yeah, right
Okay, I
now.
was going to say Joey Barton, but
Good one. That is a good one.
right now I would say our scariest player. Probably say Norrington Davies. I think he,
Last a
in
challenge.
in terms of being sort of like scary for an opposition winger, I think he is. He doesn't mind a scrap on the touchline, and I think he's got that nastiness about him that we've needed in a QPR side for so long, and I think that's why he's settling in well. I am worried that Sheffield United are going to call him back from loan because they're not doing great either. So yeah, I think he's our scariest player at the minute.
Talk to me about Joey Barton. What was he like at the club?
Well, he was in the same era where yeah, everyone was there for the money, and he's not shy in that, and nobody else was. But he, I mean, off the pitch is an unlikable bloke, and what he's done. I think I listened to Ned Manua talk about him in a podcast about how he was a bit of like a bully. But as a player, he was all right for us, and he was our captain for 2 years, I think. So he's scary off the pitch, but on it was not too bad. And that sending off against Man City as well, that was one to remember.
Iconic, that moment, isn't it?
Yeah,
tried to scrap the whole thing.
He's invincible.
yeah, we thought he was that day.
That's it.
Right, we're on to our newer feature of the show, which is the A to Z. So we are on the letter D. So what is your letter D for QPR, Michael?
So my letter D for this week is Director of Football. I think it's something that is scary to a lot of our fans to hear that as well, in keeping with the Halloween theme. Les Ferdinand had 9 miserable years as Director of Football at QPR, where he was making the wrong signings, signing Connor Washington for £4 million, who was awful, paying players stupid amount a week, hiring his mates. And yeah, I failed miserably, and I'm glad that role no longer exists at our club. And you look at the signings we're making, we're doing it on a very modern model, similar to Brighton, similar to Brentford, like scouring the leagues, looking at statistics, and it seems to be working for us. We've got a young squad with resale value, and that's something that I feel like Les Ferdinand rarely got right.
Yeah, I think it's there's lots of ways you can approach the sort of scouting network and the market at the moment, and following the let's touch on the model that Brentford and Brighton use. It's very in depth, but it looks like it's working for a lot of clubs.
Yeah, I think it's just go off yesterday's result where Brentford would beat Liverpool 3-2. You've got a club that have smashed the spending record in the summer versus a side that have made smart signings based on looking at the league. You look at Damsgaard for Brentford; he looks to be one of the most important players in the league for any club. And yeah, I feel like with signings that we've made, like Madsen, with Varane, with Harvey Vale, these are promising players that probably had other options. And we've signed them, and they have resale value. And I think if we end up doing well with this core group of young players, it'll be difficult to keep hold of them. But at least we can reinvest the money and go again, a bit like obviously the Brighton model.
Yeah. I think signings are so important, aren't they, mate? It can really make or break a club. You know, you look at some clubs that have spent horrifically over the years, and also, you know, you always need to try and replace, like you just mentioned there. If you are a club that's sort of building players up to then sell on for profit, you then just got to make sure that you are constantly keeping that sort of the chain going. You know, you look at the likes of Leicester, for example. They're a club at the moment that they went through a phase where a lot of their big players are obviously all going, but they managed to still keep churning the new players in, and it was working. Then they had arguably 1 or 2 windows where they've just bought in wrong, and now look at them. They're middle of the park in the Championship, and obviously they've got obviously other financial issues going on as well. But yeah, signings are so important, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think as well we've done the approach where we've thrown money at players. I mean, signing Julius Caesar, Ji-sung Park, Rio Ferdinand all in one window, spending £12 million on Chris Samba from a Russian side. And it didn't work for us. And we had I think the biggest fine issued by Financial Fair Play, which hindered us for many years. And we were lucky, really, that we didn't go down more leagues than what we did. But now I think we're taking a sensible approach to it, and we've got a good, competent CEO who knows what he's doing. And yeah, I feel like we're taking steps in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely, which is so important, not for the club, for the fan base, for everybody. Obviously, we've mentioned previously about the situation going on at Sheffield Wednesday, and nobody wants to be in that position. Given a 12-point penalty as well, haven't they? And going into administration. No club wants to be in that position. Right, now we are finishing on tweet of the week. So it's a tongue-in-cheek one. There's no offence is meant by this tweet, and it's not by ourselves. This is someone of a opposition fan. So this is a Derby County fan, and this is obviously aimed at the QPR manager and the forward line. And it reads, your manager's hairline was further up the pitch than your forwards, which obviously no offence to anyone balled in. Everyone goes through it, but I think it's something to about the forward line and how it was. Do you think it was just it sat back too much, or did you think it was just more that Derby just took the game to QPR?
Yeah, I think it's more Derby took the game to us. I think we started with arguably our best attack, and they just kept us out of the game. But like we were saying earlier, maybe it was tired legs, or maybe we just didn't have the fight in us this week. But yeah, I mean, it's arguably because Julian Stefan's obviously got a lot to think about with his QPR side, and that's it's a good tweet. But yeah, I think going into the next few weeks, you see him turn it around.
He's got a beautiful body. He ain't got to worry. He's fine.
Yeah, he's French, mate. You can get away with it. It's all right.
He's suave.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate your time.
Cheers.
It's been a mixed bag, but let's keep going. It's a championship, and you have a run of games, and anything can happen. It's just trying to get that consistency going. Thank you, everybody, for watching at home. Please like and subscribe, and please comment below your letter D for QPR and your predictions for the Ipswich game.